one secret formula for how to have a great marriage, but there are a few things that you need to stop doing if you're going to have a happy, drama-free marriage. Drama is exhausting. Drama gets in the way of you loving and listening to each other. Time to cut that shit out. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy. I am your Married AF relationship coach. If you want support to build a long-lasting, happy marriage where you prioritize the shit out of each other, you are in the right place. And the subscribe button is right there whenever you are ready to come and join me in the Married AF community. For even more personalized support in your marriage, all the links to work with me one-on-one are below. So Carl and I get a little bit obsessive over putting effort into our marriage. Before we got married, he was adamant that even though we were married and that he had me, that he wouldn't stop putting in the effort. And he wouldn't just take me for granted. I know. Because honestly, the wedding is your starting line. So like dating's the warm-up, the wedding is the start line, and marriage is the marathon. It's not like you've made it once you get through the wedding. It's not like, oh, we've made it and now we just sit still and get comfortable. That's how people get bitter in their marriages really, really quickly. Not up in here, not in my community. Your marriage requires effort from both of you every day. And if it sounds hard, it's because it is hard. But like that is what it takes. Like marriage itself doesn't have to be hard, but putting in that effort to make sure that you're both happy can be hard, especially if you don't prioritize your marriage. And I say this all the time, like if you are craving that emotional, intimate marriage, you need to stop that traditional idea of walking side by side, looking together towards the future, and turn inwards towards each other instead. So in this video, I'm going through 5 things you need to stop doing if you want to stay connected and on the same wavelength and happy with your partner for a long ass time. So number 1 is don't be passive aggressive. This is probably one of the first ground rules we ever set as a couple. You want something, just ask for it. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you ask for. So instead of saying like, would you like to help me with this? Which is like parent code for you don't actually have a choice. So instead of saying it like that, you say, can you please help me with this? Because like if somebody says to my husband, oh, do you want to help with the dishes? He's like, no, I don't want to help with the dishes. Like if I never had to do dishes again, that would be great. But if I'm like, hey, can you please help me with this? He's like, yeah, of course I'll help you with it. And in the same way, like if one of us is unhappy, we say that we're unhappy and we're not quite ready to talk about it yet. So we're not like withholding love and being passive aggressive. So even if there is a problem, we're not withholding love at the same time, if that makes sense. So number 2 is don't talk about your partner behind their back. If you want that dreamy relationship where you're both on the same team, you're a united front, if you want to stay super connected long term, you cannot undermine your partner either behind their back or in front of other people. Honestly, this just comes down to respecting your partner as a human being. This is what it takes to be a united front, to be that couple. If you have a problem with the way they are behaving, say in front of other people or with you, you tell them directly and respectfully, and not in front of everyone you know. Question for you, what is your favorite part about being married? Let me know in the comments below. So marriage don't number 3 is don't pretend that you're over something if you're not. Honestly, the title of this video could be don't be passive aggressive if you want a long happy marriage. So the fastest way to start resenting your partner is to pretend that you're over something just to keep the peace. Honestly, I would rather that you were fighting for like 2 or 3 days about something and like getting to that resolution and then let it go completely, knowing that they understand what the problem is or you understand what you've done, and then you close it. You close that energetic loop and let it go. I would rather you were uncomfortable and unhappy for 3 days than it like the pressure build and it comes up later. My video on how to have tough conversations with your partner goes into this in a lot more depth, and I have linked it below. So number 4 is don't disrespect their autonomy. If you ever feel like you are nagging them or being nagged, you need to ask yourself if you are asking your partner to do something or telling them to do it. Being married does not mean you get to boss each other around. Like, this makes me laugh so hard when we're talking to people and they turn to me and they're like, oh, you're his wife, you make him do it. I'm like, have you met us? Like, we don't do things that we don't want to do. That's part of our couple branding. People know us as the couple who we just don't do things that we don't want to do. And it's because we give each other choice. Like, if you don't have that autonomy and choice, then you run the risk of becoming codependent. And once again, this is just respecting them as an adult, like as a fellow human being. Even as a married couple, especially as a married couple, you have to respect their decision to say no. And in return, they still have to respect if it's something that's really genuinely important to you. And in that scenario, that is an opportunity for them to step up and love you more, not just bend to your will. Number 5, which is maybe one of the most important ones, is don't ignore bids for attention. Dr. John Gottman describes bids for attention as any attempt from one partner to another for attention, affirmation, affection, or any other positive connection. So they found that couples that tend to stay together turn towards each other and respond to those bids for attention. Couples that ended up divorced after about 6 years turn towards each other 50% less than the couples that stayed together long term. While you're learning how to do this, Dr. Gottman says you can literally say, hey, I am making a bid for your attention right now, so that your partner's like, oh, I need to fucking pay attention. That way there is just no question that you need their attention or affection or a positive connection right now. Mine and Carl's code word is usually real talk. So if I say, hey, real talk, that means I need you to look at me, I need you to hear what I'm about to say. I've linked the full article below because it is some of the best advice I've seen on making sure that your partner feels secure in your love and vice versa. If you want more support to dial down the drama and prioritize your marriage above everything else so that you both feel supported and loved, you can apply to work with me through the links below. Or just DM me on Instagram at LucyBecker_. Thank you so much for watching. I put videos out like this all the time. I'm literally obsessed with helping you build an amazing marriage. I have heaps of content on my channel already that you can go and binge. So if you love this video and found it helpful, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.